Good morning, Willowbrook. Today we are in Matthew 18:21 through 35 about the parable of the unmerciful servant. So Jesus tells this story in response to Peter's question, how many times should I forgive someone who sinned against me? Up to 7 times? I'm being generous here. Jesus answers, no, not 7 times, but 77 times. And then he shares this powerful parable. In the story, a king forgives his servant an enormous debt, one so large that it would have been impossible for the servant to ever repay. It was a burden far beyond his ability. Sound familiar? It should. Like that servant, we owed a spiritual debt we could never repay, but God in his mercy forgives us freely. The same servant who was forgiven so much goes out and refuses to forgive a fellow servant who owed him just a tiny sliver of what he had been forgiven. Instead of showing mercy, he demands repayment and has the man thrown into prison. This story reminds me of another one from Luke 7, where Jesus describes 2 people who owed money, one a large sum and one a small amount, and both debts were forgiven, and Jesus asks, who will love the lender more? Well, the obvious answer, the one who was forgiven more. We often focus on loving and being grateful to God, the one who forgives us, and rightly so. Absolutely. But Matthew 18 takes it a little bit further, and it shows us that forgiveness isn't just vertical between us and God. It must also be horizontal between us and others. We're not just called to receive forgiveness, we're commanded to extend it also. And not just once, but over and over and over again, even for the same offense. Think about it. How many of us needs God's grace and forgiveness daily? And how many times have we come before him asking for mercy and forgiveness for the same sin, for the same struggle? And how many times has he forgiven us? That's the standard that we're called to live by. And I'm not saying it's easy. In fact, it's one of the hardest things that we might be asked to do. Our emotions, our pride, our ego, our pain can get in the way. But forgiveness isn't primarily a feeling, it's a choice. 2 Corinthians 2:10 through 11 reminds us of the danger of unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is one of the enemy's most effective strategies. He loves to get us to fixate on the wrongs done to us, to keep us babying those offenses. And when we hold on to bitterness, we give him a foothold in our lives and in our churches. So let's remember this. We forgive because we've been forgiven. When we extend mercy, we reflect the heart of the King who forgave us everything. It's not optional. It's our calling. And when we choose to forgive again and again and again, we shut the door on the enemy. We heal our relationships, and we reveal the power of this living word to the world. Have a good day, Willowbrook. We'll see you next time.